Greetings, YouTube. One of the things I hear a great deal about in American politics is about cutting overhead, about reducing overhead, about streamlining things, about making stuff work better, leaner, faster, stronger. And these are concepts that are very much coming from the world of business. But a government isn't a business. A country is not a business. A country is a collective. It is a social unit. And you don't get to decide that some people in that social unit get benefits and some people don't. You have to design a system where everyone enjoys benefits. And that runs counter to the kind of black and white thinking that a lot of politicians love. The worst cases, of course, are the current Nazi party, who will stare right into the eyes of the red caps and tell them that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then turn around and write laws that most definitely show they are never going to do X, Y, and Z, and yet the red caps still support them. And it mystifies me. But when it comes to the whole concept of trimming fat, lowering overhead, yada, 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 everyone wants it done over there. Over there. There. They don't want it done here. They don't want it in their district. Their district, of course, is sacrosanct. It is absolutely untouched. You can't touch this. This already works perfectly. Of course, by working perfectly, it means it makes sure that they stay elected, keeps their pockets full, and it keeps the cronies that help them get into office happy. That's not necessarily the best thing for their constituents. It just means it's what's best for the politician and for the people who have bribed them. But again, governments are not businesses, and you can't view it like that. You can't have that isolationist view that this little fiefdom I've created must absolutely be left alone. You go over there and you take money away from those folks over there. Of course, all those folks are doing the exact same thing, pointing out to everybody else except themselves. Nobody wants to do the work cooperatively. All the while, they're all in the same lifeboat, pretending they aren't. There's an old joke I heard a long time ago. And it says a guy dies and he goes to heaven, and one of the angels is showing him around. And he looks over and he sees this huge wall. I mean, it goes infinitely in every direction. He's just like, what's with the wall? And he says, it's the Catholics on the other side. They think they're the only ones here. And that seems to be the way a lot of politicians view the world. That they need to view themselves as the only ones that matter, and only their constituents. Of course, the Nazis are doing that to the nth degree, where the only people they care about are straight, white, cisgender men. That's it. Nobody else matters. And in fact, unless you're wealthy, you don't matter either. But the concept of being efficient is not a bad idea. It just has to be handed over to people who have the knowledge to do it. Auditors and researchers. People who actually understand how these mechanisms function and understand how everything is interconnected. Because it isn't like this. It's like this. It is so complex. You never know what's connected to what. And if you pull this here, it unravels there. And you're like, well, how did it... And unless you've studied it for years, unless you understand the concepts of government and the funding systems that are all connected and how all these different processes and programs were created over time, often this program was created to deal with the problem that was over here. This program was dealing over here, and they kind of overlapped here, but they didn't completely overlap. So that's how it is. So wanting to streamline that isn't bad, but you have to make sure that when you do it, you're not killing people. You're not throwing them to the wolves. You're not disenfranchising them. So the idea of being efficient is fine, but you still have to make sure that every single person gets every single benefit that is possible. That no one is homeless or hungry or without health care or without the kind of community support they need. That should be the goal. And yes, that is an inherently democratically socialist worldview. One that runs completely anathema to what is going on in America today. But it's a worldview where everybody gets to live. And I think that has a great deal of merit.